So it's 404 day, and not only that, but it's the SP-404's 20-year anniversary, and Roland have dropped yet another SP-404 Mark II update, which is version 5, and the flagship feature is Serato integration, so the SP can now control Serato DJ and Serato Studio, and we'll see how it works with Serato Studio in a moment. But Roland have released so many amazing free updates for the 404 in the past few years, and it seems this one isn't received so well by their fanbase, as the majority of commenters on YouTube, Reddit and other communities are not happy with the update. Now, I don't know, is it just me, or are people just so used to complaining about pretty much everything now, even free updates? I think Roland has spoiled SP users with these free updates, and now people expect a massive list of features every time, like the 4.04 update that we had last year. But I think all these updates are just a bonus to what they got when they bought their SP. Plus, accessing all these new features is already quite complicated, as some of them require multiple button combinations, and the labels on the buttons don't really reflect the added functionality. So how many new features can they add before it becomes too much? So I personally think this update, which is again a free update, is interesting, and as someone who doesn't really make beats on my SP, it's a chance for me to dust it off and see how it works with Serato Studio. Oh, and shout out to Serato, by the way, they were kind enough to provide me with a license for Studio and some of their other products, which are really awesome. Their stuff is really unique and useful, so I'm actually stoked to see this collaboration with Roland. But it's also worth pointing out that the integration also works with the free version of Serato Studio, so you don't need to buy anything to use this feature. And most of you probably remember that this isn't the first integration with beat-making apps for the SP. Exactly 1 year ago, they introduced integration with Koala Sampler, so it's obvious that they're focusing on beginner-friendly apps, which kind of tells you who their target audience is, and there is nothing wrong with that. So there are a couple of more functionality improvements in this 5.0 update, but we'll focus on the Serato Studio integration, and you can check the release notes for the update linked in the video description down below if you're interested in the rest of the improvements. So if you're not familiar with Serato Studio, it's a streamlined DAW for sampling and beat making with a DJ-friendly approach that features the Serato sample engine at its core, including the ability to separate stems. The integration with Serato Studio works right away if you have the latest version. Just connect the SP to your computer, start Serato Studio, and it automatically starts controlling it. Now, Bank E is controlling the Serato Studio decks, so you just play your samples with it. While if we switch to Bank J, we can switch between the different scenes in our project. And to play back the project, we use start and end. But let's start from an empty project. So we can use the encoder to browse for samples and kits, while holding shift and turning the encoder lets you move between the different areas in the browser. So let's just load up some drums. We go to drums, holding shift, we go to the next section of the browser to select all drum one-shots. And then we go to the next one to find this kick, hit the pad that we want to load it to, and now it's on pad 1. Now by holding pitch and speed, we can set the BPM of our project. Again with the main encoder, let's set it to 91. Turn on the metronome. Wish I could do this with the SP, but you need to use the mouse. And hit the record button to record. Let's add a sample. So you just hit the encoder, the sample is loaded, and it's actually automatically chopped and spread on the pads. Okay, so this is 1 bar of drums. Let's make it twice as long, and it will automatically copy the drums. So we now have 4 bars to record with our sample. We we hit the gate button, we are now in mute mode, so we can just mute some of our sounds. Now, as far as the knobs go, Control 1 controls the gain for the deck. The second knob controls the filter. And the third one controls the panning. But they also have secondary functions if you hold Shift. The first one is attack, second one is release, and the last one controls the tempo of the sample. Alright, enough messing around, let's make an actual beat, and I chopped one of my own samples for this one. And so Serato Studio does have some playable instruments, so I laid down some keys from the built-in sounds. You can also run plugins, so I dialed the chords with this polyphonic synth from the Korg Triton plugin. And I also added this vocal pad. And yes, unlike the SP, Serato Studio has actual sidechaining, so you can get that pumping effect on your synths. And you can also use the effects on the SP as usual to process the sounds in Serato Studio, provided that you use the SP as your audio interface. And also skip back sampling works with the audio from Serato Studio, but again, only if you use the SP as an audio interface, and neither this nor applying the effects is exclusive to Serato Studio actually, as these features work on any audio passing through the SP. So overall, it is indeed an interesting update, even if control over Serato Studio is a bit hit and miss, to be honest. Important sequencing features like quantizing or deleting notes you recorded need to still be used with the mouse. But that doesn't take away from the fact that Roland are still updating the SP for free, so we can only be grateful for that. And let me know what you think. Feel free to complain if you feel they dropped the ball with this update. I promise I won't judge you. And if you enjoyed the video, you can support the channel by hitting the like button down there, subscribing if you are new here. If you want to take your support a bit further, you can get one of my packs from the link down in the video description. Thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you in the next one.